Hello guys and welcome back to another Hunter Prestige fitment video. On today's video we're going to show you how to fit the 9-piece checker plate kit to your Defender. Now it is good to note that we provide these in both gloss black and also in matte. We also provide them for the 90 and also the 110. Now we're going to be providing two different kits on our website shortly, so the variant will be slightly different. So you can either pick with the V1 checker plate tailgate strip, or alternatively we can supply you with a V2. And the V2 covers the whole of the bumper, it wraps around the hole and protects the whole bumper, whereas the V1 sits about 10mm different on the outside of the bumper. Now all this kit comes pre-supplied with 3M tape applied, and we also provide you with the 3M promoter and also cleaner within the kit. So it is good to know if your vehicle is fitted with extended arches, the wheel arch protectors in this 9-piece checker plate kit will not be compatible, as they don't accommodate and they would overlap. So now all that information is out of the way, let's get started on today's installation. Right, so the tools required for today's fitment, you're not going to need a lot. You're going to need a pick to get the tape off, some microfiber cloth, some masking tape, we're using thin line tape here, and also some soapy solution. First thing you need to do is clean the surface, so you can either use like panel wipes, you can use panel wipes, or alternatively we're just using some soapy solution and a microfiber cloth just to clean it off as much as possible. So you want to do this in all the areas, so you want to do it in all the wheel arches and also on the mirrors and the rear bumper as well. Obviously we are going to be doing some slight polishing on this particular vehicle because it does have a ceramic coat. So we do recommend, if you have a vehicle which is ceramic coated, we do advise to have a polisher on hand, or alternatively you can use a microfiber cloth with some polish on there as well. So first thing we're going to do is put the front arch up, and we're just going to mask around the outside of that protection like so. So you want to get the masking tape as close as possible to that protection arch and just mask up just around the outside edge. So obviously you don't need to do it on the other side of that arch due to the fact of you already have the line between the wheel arch and the bottom part of the bumper as well. Go over it, make sure it's nice and tightly on there like so, because obviously we're going to be polishing very, very shortly. We don't want that tape to come off. And we also advise to mask up all in one go, so you're going to do both sides of the front arches, then you're also going to do the rear doors as well. Get that line placement correct, and then also masking tape there as well. Obviously if you don't have a ceramic coat in the vehicle, you won't need to polish so much because we do provide you with 3M promoter and cleaning wipes, so you won't need to do the step of actually polishing the car just to take off any chemicals on there. You can just use that cleaning wipe. Masking up on the wing mirrors, what you want to do is get roughly about 10mm gap around where that actually fits on there like so. And then we're just going to run some more masking tape on there. Obviously you want to get this as close as possible to 10mm all the way around. Obviously we're only showing you one side of this fitment process because you just need to replicate that same process on the other side of the vehicle. Right, so we're going to polish up and prep the surfaces now. So for this we're just using the 3M fast cut just to remove the ceramic coat on the arches, and we're using a green rough pad just to basically take off any of the ceramic coat before we actually apply any promoter or cleaning on there. So just going to go around the outside edge. We're not going to bother polishing the inside due to the fact there's no tape which is going to touch the inside of that. And then just go over it with a microfiber cloth, just take any of the polish residue off. And then we're going to do the rear door arch as well. Mac used a lot of polish doing this. Obviously you're not trying to remove scratches or any imperfections in the paint on this, so you don't need to go too far on it. All you need to do is basically do a rough cut of the arch just to take off the ceramic coat. For the rear lamp covers, we're just going to apply a bit of masking tape like so. That just protects it when you're actually going to take that rear panel off. Obviously this customer already has the matte checker plate one installed from Land Rover, so what we do is just show you how to remove it. These can be quite tricky to do sometimes, especially the tags on the outside, and if you do have the aerial attached to the left hand side of these as well, just be cautious when you actually remove them. You'll see what we mean when you take them off. You basically have a wire attached to that tail lamp cover. Right, with the cleaning 3M wipe that we provide, you just want to go around anywhere that you polished inside the masking tape. That removes any chemicals which are remaining on the arch. Alternatively, if you're a body shop and you're applying this quite regularly, you'll have like a panel prep which you can use instead. Do that on all arches. We do provide, I think it is 3 cleaning wipes, so this is more than enough to do the front arches, the rear arch, and also the rear bumper protector as well. Right, we're going to grab the promoter now, so that's on a sponge in the sachet. So what you want to do is only apply this to the required areas and be very, very cautious when you're actually applying it to not go over the masking tape, because this 3M promoter does stain the paint, so it's very difficult to actually take it off. You can use like a polish to get any residue off if you did make any mistake, but obviously this is why we actually masking tape it up. Now, these sponges can dry quite quickly sometimes, so what we advise to do is mask it all up, and then when you get to that cleaning stage, after you've gone around it with the cleaning wipe to take any residue off, then put promoter around the whole of the vehicle, like so. Or alternatively, like we do in house, we have we keep the sachet packet and we put it back in there. That just keeps it a little bit moist. Right, we're going to use a pick now just to remove the tape on the back of the arches. Alternatively, if you've got long fingernails, you can take it off with your fingers, but we use a pick because it's nice and easy. Can be quite tricky. What we want to do is peel the edge, and then you'll be able to take all that red tape off. Now line up that arch. Now it's good to know if you are applying this outside, we do advise to use a heat gun just to heat up the panel. This 3M tape should be applied at 23 degrees. Obviously we're in a controlled environment with heaters, so our vehicle bay is always at 23 degrees anyway, but obviously we do advise to either heat up the panel or fit these on a warm day. Right, when you've got the lines up, you can now apply that arch and just go around, just make sure you have no gaps on that wheel arch and it's all nice and secured. Once you're happy, you can take the tape off, and that's the front arch done. And you repeat that process on the other side. Do the rear ones now, and again we're just going to pick off all the tape with the pick and then apply that one. So it's going to line up the bottom here, and then it's just going to follow around that tape to match up the lines. Again, these are pretty easy to do, so once you've masked up, sometimes it's easier to have a second person to actually hold the panel there once you mask up around the outside. Obviously if you're doing this by yourself, it can be quite tricky sometimes. There we go. And again, it's just adding a little bit of force on there just to make sure it's stuck down nice and tight. And now it's happy with it, it's going to remove the masking tape. And then repeat this process on the other side. It should now look like this. We can do the mirror covers now. So obviously we've already gone over it with the cleaning sachet, so now we're going to apply some more promoter. And using the pick again, we're just going to take all the red tape off. And we're going to line it up, and again we're going to apply that cover on the mirror covers. Push down or just check all your lines just to make sure it's on there nice and flush. Push tightly just to make sure it's nice and secure. And that's all done. You can then remove the masking tape again. There we go. And then you're going to repeat this process on the other side. Sometimes there's a little bit of residue left on the mirror covers, because obviously there's a little bit of movement when you push it down, so just clean up anything on there. We're now going to fit the rear lamp covers. These are really easy to do. You just need to line up all the holes and make sure the clips are engaged properly. There's two guides, one at the top and one at the bottom, so make sure they're in first before you clip all in place. And then check your line just to make sure it's all nice and secure and where it's supposed to be sitting. Once that's done, you can remove any masking tape that's on the vehicle and repeat on the other side. So as you can see, this would be the perfect time to actually install our reverse lights as well, because you can actually access that panel a little bit easier, especially with the tail lamp covers off. You can access the wires you need. So it's really advised to do it at that point. So that is the arches and the mirror covers now installed, and also the rear lamp covers. We do these in both matte black, and we also do them in gloss black as well. So as you can see, this customer does already have a V2 checker plate tailgate cover on his vehicle. So we had to wait for another vehicle to come in to show you how to install the tailgate covers that we do. So the first one we'll be fitting is the V1. So the first step is to just clean that bumper off. So obviously we did speak about it at the start of the video, to clean that rear bumper as well at the start. So this is the V1. So as you can see, this is different to the V2 that we supply. The V1 doesn't actually cover the whole of the bumper. It follows the OEM spec, where it's about 10mm away from around the bumper. So what we're doing is line it up with 10mm around the whole of that strip, and then you're just going to get some masking tape around that cover, just so when you go to put it back on again, it's nice and lined up. We do this for two people, as the V1 can slip when you actually put it on there. So one person holds it in place and the other person masks up. Put a little bit of mask tape in the middle. Alternatively, if you've got loads of mask tape, you can just tape up that whole strip. So we always do the corners, so you get like a nice triangle there. And then we do the two middle bits as well. That just gets your placements basically the same every single time you take it off and put it back on again. What we do sometimes is we wet our fingers, and then obviously, because if it's a gloss black bumper, you can see any marks that you make. So what we do is we lick our finger and then just rub that along the back, just to add like an outline. And what we can do is apply some promoter. Obviously we supply you some in a sachet, but in this particular process we're using the ones we have in house in a big tub. But you just want to basically cover where the 3M tape is going to go on that rear bumper. So around them lines, trying to keep it as clean as possible so you don't have any overlay. Like so. And again, If you're not applying this in a hot environment, we do advise to just heat it up just before applying. And we remove the red tape and stick that down. Nice and easy. Obviously the V2 is very easy to actually fit, and if you guys want to see what that looks like fit on the vehicle, you can click this link up here. So there you go guys, that is how you fit the 9-piece Chequer Plate kit to your new Defender. If you've got any questions on how to fit this product, drop in the comment section below or get in contact with our sales team. See you on the next video.